हेलो चिल्ड्रन, कैसे हैं आप सब? आई होप आप सब स्वस्थ होंगे along with your family members. Today again we continue with the life process nutrition. Last time we discussed that nutrition is two types, autotrophic and heterotrophic. We discussed autotrophic nutrition in detail. Today we will continue with the heterotrophic nutrition. Heterotrophic nutrition is three types: saprophytic, parasitic and holozoic. Saprophytic nutrition is the nutrition in which organisms feed on dead and decaying organic matter. For example, bacteria, fungi, yeast, etc. Parasitic nutrition is that in which the organism obtain its nutrition from living organisms without killing them. It derives its nutrition from others but also spends a part of its life cycle on the other. In the plants, the example is cuscuta, and in animals there are so many parasites. Lastly, holozoic nutrition. Here the organism ingests solid organic material which is then digested and absorbed by their body. And holozoic nutrition example is human beings, and the topic we will continue with the holozoic nutrition. First we will discuss nutrition in the unicellular organism, that is amoeba, and then nutrition in the human beings. Nutrition in amoeba. Amoeba, it has irregular body. It can absorb food particle from its entire surface. There are no specialized organelles or organs. Now here the food particle is there. Amoeba, it forms extensions of the body towards the food particles. These extensions are called pseudopodia. Pseudo means false, podia means feet. False feet, they are formed towards the food particle. These extensions, they fuse and they form a vacuole around the food particle. So a food vacuole is formed. In this food vacuole, food is digested. Digested food is absorbed in the cytoplasm and undigested part is removed out. So this is the basic nutrition in the amoeba. Now we continue with the nutrition in the humans. In the humans, first we will discuss the structural part. Digestive system of the human is consist of alimentary canal as well as digestive glands. Alimentary canal, that is a long tube-like structure, starts from the mouth and ends at the anus. Digestive system starts from the mouth. In the mouth, there are present teeth that help in chewing of the food. Then in the mouth, there are present salivary glands which secretes saliva. So whenever we see or smell or eat our favorite food, our mouth waters. So this water is nothing but saliva. Saliva, it contains the enzyme salivary amylase. This salivary amylase helps in the digestion of carbohydrate. Digestion means conversion of complex food into the simple food. So digestion starts from the mouth. So this in the mouth, salivary amylase it acts on carbohydrate, convert this into the glucose. That is why if we eat a piece of bread or roti for some time, or if we chew this bread or roti for some time, it tastes sweet because glucose is formed, or simple sugars, they are being formed. Then from the mouth, the food comes through the esophagus into the stomach. The lining of this alimentary canal, it is made up of muscles, and these muscles can show rhythmic movements which are known as peristaltic movements, and this help in pushing the food forward. When it comes in the stomach is again a large organ, and it expands when food enters in it. In the stomach, again there are present gastric juice, and gastric juice consists of HCl, hydrochloric acid, mucus, and pepsin. Pepsin, that is an enzyme. HCl, it kills the bacteria present in the food. HCl, it makes the medium acidic for the action of pepsin. HCl activates pepsin, which is initially present in the inactive form. Mucus just lubricates the food and help in the easy passage. Pepsin, that is an enzyme, a biocatalyst or the enzymes, they perform the main function of digestion. It acts on the proteins and convert it into the simple foods, amino acids. From the stomach, the food enters into the small intestine. This is the first part of small intestine. It is called duodenum. Then this highly coiled structure. This is all small intestine. Now, the food enters from the stomach to the small intestine in small amounts. It enters through a sphincter. Here there is present a sphincter. So its movement is regulated by the sphincter. Small intestine is longest part, and it is highly coiled, and it is compactly arranged. Length of small intestine differs in various animals depending upon the food they eat. Herbivores eating grass, they have longer intestine to allow cellulose digestion. Meat is easier to digest. So carnivores like tigers, they have shorter small intestine. Here in the small intestine, 3 juices, they are mixed. Bile juice from the liver, pancreatic juice from the pancreas, intestinal juice from the small intestine. So here 3 juices are mixed. Liver secrete bile juice. Here comes the bile juice. Pancreas secrete pancreatic juice, and it enters into small intestine. And small intestine itself also secretes juice, intestinal juice. So 3 juices, they are mixed, which perform different functions. Liver, that is a gland, and it secretes bile. It helps in emulsification of fat, which is essential because enzymes can act only on the emulsified fat. Emulsification means big fat droplets, they are broken into small fat molecules so that enzymes, they can easily act on these. Then both pancreatic juice as well as intestinal juice, they contain all the enzymes, protein digesting enzymes, lipid or fat digesting enzyme, as well as carbohydrate digesting enzyme. They digest carbohydrates, protein and fats and convert these into the simpler food. Then the lining of small intestine, it has finger-like projections which are known as microvilli. This increases the surface area, and this microvilli also help in absorption of digested food. So the small intestine is very important part. It helps in the digestion as well as absorption of digested food, and microvilli, finger-like projections. They are rich in blood vessels and they transport this digested food to different cells where it is utilized to get energy. Undigested part enters into the large intestine. This is the large intestine and undigested food. It comes here and it is removed, stored temporarily into the rectum. It is also a part of large intestine. Then it is digested through the anus. So this is about the physiology as well as structural part of the digestive system. Now just see a animation and to clear this function. Here it is the digestive
covering
system.
9 meters and containing over 20 specialized cell types. This is one of the most diverse and complicated systems in the human body. Its parts continuously work in unison to fulfill a singular task, transforming the raw materials of your food into the nutrients and energy that keep you alive. Spanning the entire length of your torso, the digestive system has 4 main components. First, there's the gastrointestinal tract, a twisting channel that transports your food and has an internal surface area of between 30 and 40 square meters, enough to cover half a badminton court. Second, there's the pancreas, gallbladder, and liver, a trio of organs that break down food using an array of special juices. Third, the body's enzymes, hormones, nerves, and blood all work together to break down food, modulate the digestive process, and deliver its final products. Finally, there's the mesentery, a large stretch of tissue that supports and positions all your digestive organs in the abdomen, enabling them to do their jobs. The digestive process begins before food even hits your tongue. Anticipating a tasty morsel, glands in your mouth start to pump out saliva. We produce about 1.5 liters of this liquid each day. Once inside your mouth, chewing combines with the sloshing saliva to turn food into a moist lump called the bolus. Enzymes present in the saliva break down any starch. Then your food finds itself at the rim of a 25 centimeter long tube called the esophagus, down which it must plunge to reach the stomach. Nerves in the surrounding esophageal tissue sense the bolus's presence and trigger peristalsis, a series of defined muscular contractions. That propels the food into the stomach, where it's left at the mercy of the muscular stomach walls, which pound the bolus, breaking it into chunks. Hormones secreted by cells in the lining trigger the release of acids and enzyme-rich juices from the stomach wall that start to dissolve the food and break down its proteins. These hormones also alert the pancreas, liver, and gallbladder to produce digestive juices and transfer bile, a yellowish-green liquid that digests fat, in preparation for the next stage. After 3 hours inside the stomach, the once shapely bolus is now a frothy liquid called chyme, and it's ready to move into the small intestine. The liver sends bile to the gallbladder, which secretes it into the first portion of the small intestine, called the duodenum. Here, it dissolves the fats floating in the slurry of chyme so they can be easily digested by the pancreatic and intestinal juices that have leached onto the scene. These enzyme-rich juices break the fat molecules down into fatty acids and glycerol for easier absorption into the body. The enzymes also carry out the final deconstruction of proteins into amino acids and carbohydrates into glucose. This happens in the small intestine's lower regions, the jejunum and ileum, which are coated in millions of tiny projections called villi. These create a huge surface area to maximize molecule absorption and transference into the bloodstream. The blood takes them on the final leg of their journey to feed the body's organs and tissues. But it's not over quite yet. Leftover fiber, water, and dead cells sloughed off during digestion make it into the large intestine, also known as the colon. The body drains out most of the remaining fluid through the intestinal wall. What's left is a soft mass called stool. The colon squeezes this byproduct into a pouch called the rectum, where nerves sense it expanding and tell the body when it's time to expel the waste. The byproducts of digestion exit through the anus, and the food's long journey, typically lasting between 30 and 40 hours, is finally complete. TED-Ed is a
So you have seen the working of the digestive system. Now you will draw this diagram in your notebooks, and next time we will continue with the next life process. Thank you so much.